If you want to see how I turned my daughter's bedroom from looking like this, a complete mess and kind of a disaster, to this, just keep on watching. Alright guys, so as you saw, we are doing a major deep clean of my daughter's bedroom. This is super long overdue. I have been dreading this for a long time, but I finally had a good amount of time on a Sunday to be able to get this done. So, like I said, I've been needing to do this for a while. So I'm starting out by taking things off all of the shelves and then cleaning her dresser, and then I had a couple like bookshelves, well, a bookshelf and then like her nightstand. So I started by getting everything off of there and then picking up all the things on the floor. And so the method I kind of used, well, I guess first I should say I am just kind of organizing her closet a little bit, just trying to get that a little bit cleaned. I didn't go in here in too much depth or detail just because I feel like clothes, tackling that's a task for another day, and I didn't really want to get into that. My focus was just to vacuum her entire bedroom, clean off the shelves, and put things away that needed to find a place. So the method that I kind of used was I put everything that didn't have a place or a spot that it went. I put all of that stuff in the middle of the room, which I think initially was a good thought, but then I was like, crap, I'm not going to be able to vacuum this with all this stuff in here. And so I had to take everything out then. And it was kind of just a little bit of a hassle. So I'm not sure that I'll do that next time, but I did think it was helpful in some ways because I did go through all of her books and some of her toys and things like that just to get rid of some things. And I did have a pretty good pile of things to get rid of. Not a whole lot, mostly just books, but it was pretty helpful. But like I said, I'm starting out with just trying to get everything out, but I am also cleaning it while I'm doing that. As you can see here, I also did remake her bed. I didn't wash the comforter because I feel like I just did that like last week or maybe the week before. But I did, like I said, just strip her bed, put new sheets on it. And yeah, just having fresh sheets is always super nice. I try to do this once a week. Typically, I'm pretty good about that because honestly, I just love clean sheets and I want them for my daughter too. So super important in our household to do that every week. I also opened up the windows and tried to let some sunlight in just to get some fresh air. I don't leave my windows open at night to get fresh air when it's cooled down just because there's so much noise where we live. We currently live in like an apartment building, and so there's just people outside. It's usually loud. We can usually hear them even without having the windows open. So I prefer to not have those open, which kind of stinks because it is super nice to like on a cooler night open your windows. But to be honest with you, I just either run the heat or the AC or nothing if I don't really need it. But for right now, I mean, it kind of is what it is. I would love to be able to open the windows and not hear a bunch of noise, but I just feel like, especially for my daughter, it would wake her up. And even for me, like sometimes we hear stuff even when the windows aren't open, like I said. So we obviously got this little nightstand cleaned off. I just keep like games and like her little notebooks and some like pens or pencils that she likes to draw in or write in. We don't do that as much anymore, but we probably should, because now that she's in kindergarten, I probably need to work with her more on like her letters and stuff. But honestly, the evenings just get so busy with activities and dinner that sometimes it's hard to remember to do that kind of stuff. But I know I need to be better about it. But I just wiped everything down with a vinegar olive oil cleaner, I think is what it is. And then I just took out that little nightstand, and as you can see, this is like all the stuff that was in the middle. So I'm gonna next clean out this huge bookshelf. There's so many books. I can't believe how many books she has. And I did get rid of a good majority of them that I'm gonna give to my sister or donate, which I'm really happy about, because there's so many books in here that we just do not touch. Like, my daughter used to like very specific ones, and now, bless her, she lets me pick the book, because she used to just do the exact same book every single night. And I was like, girl, I am so tired of reading this same book. Like, can we pick a different book? Like, we have so many books. So to try to help that too, I will typically take her to the library sometimes. She also gets a library book from school once a week, so that kind of helps too. But I really like to switch it up. I don't feel like it's super necessary to read the same book like over and over and over again. But I mean, I guess if she really wanted to, that's what I would do. But I feel like there's so many good books out there that, like, why are we not exploring those other options? But anyway, that was kind of a little rant, but I hope everyone is doing well. I'm so happy to be in the Burr months. Love fall. Can't wait to do like a Halloween clean and decorate with me, a fall clean and decorate with me. Super excited for that. I'm hoping to have that up next week, and I'm hoping to accomplish it this week. I have some really cool decorations from Dollar Tree that I'm excited to do. Like I think I said in my last video, I probably won't do a fall. I'm just going to do Halloween because it's just so short, and it's already almost the middle of September now. And so I don't know. I just love Halloween so much. So I'll probably combine the two things, but I am super excited. I love to go apple picking, love to carve pumpkins, super excited. There's like a festival in the city that I live in that's coming up around the middle of the month, and that's like my favorite every year, to just go and walk around and get food or look at crafty type things that people are selling, so, and do games with my daughter. So I'm super excited about that this year. Hopefully you guys have some fun fall plans coming up. If you have anything and you want to, you could leave a comment below and we can chat about all the fun things that you are doing for fall. The other thing that I want to mention really quickly is we're going to do like a family fall bucket list. I've already started some notes in my phone, and I can't wait to write that down. Hopefully I'll be able to show it on here. But like I said, I'm just so excited. It's just such a fun time of the year. We're starting out the holidays, and I just absolutely love that. So I was thinking about getting rid of this tiny little table and chair set, just because it's way too little for us now. I feel like my daughter's fine, but for me, I don't know. But at the same time, that's like our Play-Doh area, like Play-Doh and sand. And that's why I have like that. It's actually like a shower curtain that I put underneath. So in case any Play-Doh or slime or whatever we're playing with drops down, it won't get on the carpet. It'll get on that. And that's actually worked really, really well for the few years that we've been here. I have had a couple like instances of Play-Doh in the carpet, but I feel like it's really a good idea if you're renting and you still want to be able to do some of those messy type play activities with your kid. I could go outside too, but just because of the weather and our patio is not super big, and I guess we do have a couple seats out there, but I feel like this is just really fun. Like if we want to just sit down and play with Play-Doh for a little bit, I just leave it down and I try to shake it out every so often. So this is the pile of things that I wanted to go through that were on the shelves and the nightstand. So I'm going through, there was some stuff I didn't really have a place for and I kind of just stuck in the closet, I'm not gonna lie. But most things I did actually find a place for them and I put them away. And I just wanted to say, does anybody feel like they just have so much stuff? For my daughter especially, like we get so many like junky trinkets, we just get so much toys and just stuff, like just junk. And I was going through this and thinking to myself, like, why do we have this much stuff? Like, this is entirely too much stuff for one little kid. But at the same time, I feel super fortunate to have all of this. And it's so hard for me to get rid of because she wasn't there when I did this. And I would feel bad because sometimes I throw her stuff away and she gets really upset. So I was like, you know what? We're not going to throw away any of the things for the most part, unless it's like trash. And like the books, I know she's not going to care if I go through these books and give them away. But any other things, I wanted to have her permission. And it hasn't been that long since we've gone through her toys. We did like a pretty big clean out this year already, so I wasn't too worried about that. But I think it's more of the stuffed animals. And like, they feel like they serve no purpose. They don't really get played with. They just kind of sit. And I wish we could honestly get rid of those. And I was really close to just being like, I'm giving all of these away, but I feel like that's a little bit too much and she'll probably notice, whereas I just got rid of a few things and so I didn't think she would notice as much. So I know I'm rambling a lot, but does anybody have a preference of going through things with their child or children before they throw stuff away? Or are you the kind of parent you just go in there and you throw stuff away and you don't think they're going to notice, or they just don't notice? I would love to know, and I'm super curious about other people. All right, you guys, so we are getting so much closer to getting this done. This took me, I honestly thought this was going to take like an entire day or like an entire half of a day, but I stayed really focused on what I needed to do, and I feel like I did pretty good because I think this was done within, I would say maybe 2 hours. The footage that I had, like without speeding it up, was like over an hour. And so I feel like it took a little bit longer than that, even just with all the vacuuming and like taking things out of the room and then putting them back. That did take a little bit more time than I expected. But like I said, it did not take me like the entire day, which made me really happy. And if anyone has any suggestions on how to get like, I don't know if you saw on the wall over there, there's like darkness. Like my daughter, when she was little, sorry, let me stop. This is all the crap that I took out of her room, and it's so small over here that it was so hard to try to maneuver around all of that. So I had to put this one shelf back in there, and that was my camera stand. But if you can see over by, it's not an outlet. It looks like a cable outlet type thing, but there is so much dark like spots over there. I have tried for years to get that like darkness off the wall. She used to like kick her feet when she was younger, and I used to have her bed over there. And I have tried so much to get it off. I think I've even tried like a magic eraser, and it is just not coming off, because that was like the one thing I thought would work. I haven't tried, I guess, like washing my walls yet, but I am going to have to figure out how to get that off. I think it's also like the paint that they use, and I'm going to be honest, like I think they just paint over the walls in here. Like I don't think they clean them. I don't think they care what is on them, but they just paint over them, because I've noticed like when paint chips, it's just literally like more paint, or just like nothing was repaired that needed to be repaired. So anyway, if anybody has any tips on what to do to get that stuff off, I would be forever grateful if you said something about it. Anyway, so as you can see, I'm just vacuuming all of the carpet in her bedroom. Sorry, the angle is so bad, but I just want to make sure I got all of this thoroughly done. So I go over it like in a couple different ways, just because I don't vacuum like under her bed and like her entire bedroom every single week. I do like most of the space that's exposed, but I don't like move stuff every week. So I knew that I needed to do this and do it well. And that's just me slowly moving the bed back, because I don't have anybody else to help me. It's just me doing all of this. So it took a little bit longer to move that back, but you know what? I'm just so glad this has gotten done, as it was a long time coming. All right, so once I was done vacuuming the carpets, I'm just putting everything back into her room, and I'm kind of trying to figure out where things are going to go in the best way. I love to like switch up her whole room, but because of the closet on the one side, it's a little bit harder to like move things around. But I did move the bookshelf, and I tilted it kind of not really sideways, kind of like at a diagonal. And I thought it looked pretty good. And then put like her toys kind of on the other side, and I kept where her like little table is for her Play-Doh and sand stuff, because that's another thing. I used to have it in the corner like where her bed was, but her bed was on the opposite side of the room, and so I feel like this works out the best for that. And like I'm not gonna stress out about stuff too much, because I'm hoping, I feel like I've been saying this for years, but that's how long it takes. I'm hoping to move here pretty soon. I'm doing the Habitat for Humanity program. If you are not familiar, or if you're new to my channel, I have been doing that since I think it was July of 2024. And so I have been volunteering and working through that, and it just takes a lot of time to, you know, get those hours in, and then they have to, you know, like pick an address for you. I mean, I did have some say in that, but it just is, it's something that takes time. So hopefully either by the end of this year or sometime next year, we'll be moving into a house, which will be super, super nice. I am so excited and absolutely over like apartment living with the hearing neighbors. And like the other day, there was like pretty loud music, and I should probably be grateful because I don't live in like a typical apartment. They're technically like townhomes, but you can still like hear through the walls. I'm not like a unit of 4, but we have units next to us, so it's still pretty difficult sometimes. But like I said, I should not complain because it could be worse. It's not always like super late or super distracting. It's usually something I can kind of power through. So, and I know the other people experience this and they're probably in a way worse situation. So, like I said, I'm considering myself lucky. I live in an affordable place in kind of an affordable area too. So, I am trying to be grateful, but I'm also very excited to move, and I'm hoping to do like a house tour so you guys can see what that's going to look like, and I'm very excited for that. So we are just finishing up, kind of doing the finishing touches. I did wash that shower curtain. I shook it out, got all the Play-Doh off, and then I did wash it because, to be honest with you, I can't remember if I've ever washed it, which is so bad, but I just wanted to make sure it was extra clean because I had the time. And yeah, so just kind of going through bags, putting things back where they belong. Thank you guys so, so much. If you've gotten this far in the video and have been watching and supporting me, I can't thank you enough. I've grown a little bit on my channel the last probably like 3 to 6 months, which I was super happy about. I've reached 100 subscribers, which is amazing. I think my goal this year was 75, and I've already surpassed that, which is so, so awesome. So thank you so much for the support. Thank you for liking, subscribing, sharing. Honestly, just for a view, that just makes me so incredibly happy and grateful. I really enjoy doing this kind of content. If anyone has any suggestions, that would be great. I would love to, try to do things that people are more interested in. I really like to cook and try new recipes, but I feel like those videos don't do super, super well. So I try to incorporate it like here and there if I can. I do like doing shorts with cooking, but sometimes I feel like I just want to focus on my long form content. So, like I said, appreciate every single one of you, every single view, every like. You guys are amazing. I love the community on here. I am super, super grateful. I think these stuffed animals would be better to be like displayed, but I don't have like shelving, and I'm honestly not going to get that because like I said, my daughter, she doesn't play with them. They literally just sit in this bin, and I, like I said, would have loved to just get rid of them, but some of them she like holds near and dear to her heart, and if I were to get rid of them, I know she would be pretty upset about it. So I'm willing to keep it in here for now. Hopefully when we have some more space, it'll be a little bit easier to house them, or I'm just hoping at one point she'll be old enough that she will just want to get rid of them. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. This is what it looks like in the end. Everything is so much better organized, so much cleaner. I was so happy with this. Like I said, thank you so much again, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.